waving at the camera person. Hey Jessica, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
And hello to all of you. Welcome back to another episode of Cooking in the Raw. I'm your host, Lars Shelby, aka Shell, and we're here for a new season, new episodes, new ingredients. I'm so excited about it. It's fall and winter here in Wisconsin, which means savory dishes, which means dishes that are comforting. I think that's probably where they get that term comfort food from. What do you think?
Probably.
Could be. Or dishes that make you just squeeze yourself in the night, you know, and warm up your bones. So I have a few ingredients over here. We're going to get this started. A few ingredients here. Let's see if you can figure out as we go along what I'm probably going to be making. So I have a couple of red onions. I want to also thank Restoration Farms for keeping me supplied with vegetables throughout the year. I mean, a lot of the vegetables you're seeing here come from the CSA I belong to at Restoration Farms. Thank you, Restoration Farms. So a couple of red onions I have from Restoration Farms. A couple of local Golden Delicious. What you call these? Your favorite apple, Jackie?
My favorite apple is Honeycrisp.
Honeycrisp? I thought these were.
No, that's my second favorite.
Second favorite. I stand corrected. Jackie's second favorite apple here. Then I have an orange. Now what could I possibly be making with these three ingredients? Any guesses? Nope? Okay. Alright, so I'm going to first start by getting this onion chopped up. I mean, beautiful onion, again, grown at the garden here, my CSA. Let's go on this one here. Simple chop. Now, be careful when chopping not to cut your fingers. Alright, no big pieces. Will that be enough onion? No, let's do another one here. So, red onion. What could I possibly make with red onion? Hey, I'm making some like red onion jam maybe. You think I'm doing that?
I think so.
Red onion jam?
How
With
about
apple.
red onion soup
Red onion soup. That sounds really interesting.
with chunks of apples.
That sounds really interesting. Red onion soup, something to definitely do in the future. All right, there's my onion. Done. So we got red onion jelly, red onion soup with apples, right? Was that the guesses?
Yes.
That's the guesses.
Put this onion, apple, chopped up. Cut out the core. Nice and simple. And we'll set that. Let's get something to put that in. We'll put that in here. Okay. Out the core again. La-da-dee, la-da-da. So, ladies.
Yeah.
Is fall your favorite time of the year? Or what is it about fall, I should say? Here's a better question. What is it about fall that makes it your favorite time of the year?
The leaves changing on the trees.
The leaves changing on the trees.
And the cool sweaters you get to wear.
Ah, cool sweaters. Alright.
I like the smells of fall and the tastes of fall and the colors.
Well, that's interesting. You say the smells of fall. So what smells would that be?
Oh, cinnamon.
Yeah, cinnamon, like pies baking.
I love that you
Pies.
get to burn candles.
Yeah.
Burn candles?
Yeah, you don't get to
And
do
I
that
do
in
like
summer.
I do like leaves, the smell of the leaves. All the time.
Well, I think I just heard what could possibly be a future show.
Look at that.
Pies. Something with cinnamon, right?
Dutch apple pie, that's my favorite.
Dutch apple pie.
Pumpkin bars.
Ooh, yum.
Pumpkin bars.
Pumpkin bars.
Alright, I had to sharpen my knife up a little bit here. That's more like it. I'm gonna get these cut not too thin, but not too big either. So what do you think so far? We got, what was that? Onion soup? Red onion soup with apples, you said, right?
Yeah.
Red onion soup with apples. That's really interesting. A really interesting concept. So how would you make something like that? If you had to guess.
I'm gonna say with onions and apples.
Yeah.
With onions and apples, we're really good. So what would be our liquid base in something like that?
A vegetable, like a vegetable kind of base.
A vegetable base, like a vegetable broth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vegetable broth.
Okay. That sounds interesting. All right, let's go with one apple. All right? 1 apple. Do I want to do something with the orange? Maybe half the orange. How's that? So, does it still seem like I'm making this onion soup so far? I'm still waiting on gases. We're going to toss that in here just like so. Now, we start moving over to get to our other ingredients. I'll take this and this because we are prepared. So what we have over here, red cabbage, beets, of course you know the apple, the orange, and the onion. And I'm going to bring out one more thing here. Wine. Frozen Tundra. Frozen Tundra Original, the rosé. And I'm going to have some red wine vinegar. So any guesses yet? No?
Cabbage stew.
Cabbage stew sounds pretty, almost looks like a borscht. You know, the beginnings of a borscht. So what we're going to do here, we're going to actually braise one pot dish again. You know, that's what wintertime, that's what fall is about. It's about one dish meals where you just make a pot of a dish and then move on and do something else while it's just cooking and slowly cooking and developing its flavor. Now I have because it's cold out here for us, I have a stew cooking over here on the other side for us to eat when we're finished filming. Can you guys smell it over there? Let me blow some of it your way. Can you smell it over there? All right, see, I didn't forget about you. We got some crusty bread in the oven. We're ready to do our thing here. So I got that heating up, and I'm just gonna simply just start tossing in. You know what? I always like to do this with just a little bit of oil. Just a little bit. This isn't about color. This isn't about sauteing. Again, building depth of flavor. Let's put in some of our cabbage. So all the onion went in. Let's put in our cabbage. Okay. Our blue water. We want all that color. Alright? We're going to toss in some of the beets. Now I'm going to use some tongs on these beets because I don't want purple fingers. We got that in. Toss in some of the beets. Why not? Do them all. Why not?
Beets are delicious.
Beets are delicious. Okay. Toss in our apple. Look how easy this dish is. It's almost done.
Looks pretty simple.
Pretty simple. Okay. You can hear it sizzling in the bottom. It's talking to us. Wait for it. Wait for it. Alright. Alright, so that's doing its thing. Let's keep the apples on the top. Now I'm going to squeeze in some orange in here. Some of the juice of the orange. You can get some pulp in there too. It's alright. That thing's alright here. Alright? This is all winter. We throw some pulp in there. Let it all cook through. Could have used some zest. Alright? We just want the pulp, not the rib. All inside. This is the time where you begin to play with your food. Let me wash my hands while that's doing its thing. Now you can even just throw the orange and rind all inside of the pan. You know, just let it cook and flavor the dish. So what we're doing here, for those who don't know, we're doing a braised cabbage. Oh, you can smell that orange. Can you smell that? Oh man. Now, for a little bit of the wine. So this is Parallel 44. This is a semi-sweet rosé made from grapes grown here locally in Wisconsin at their vineyard. The grape is called Frontenac. We're going to braise this now in some of this wine. Don't be stingy on the wine. Okay? A little bit of garlic infused red wine vinegar. So almost a little tart sweet going on here. Let's get that stirred through. Let's crank that fire up. Oh wow, look at that. Look at those colors down the bottom of that pan there. All the wine there. Okay. Now I'm gonna, you know what? I'm just gonna use the rest of this wine. Why not? Look, 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 look. Done. All right, we get that stirred through. Now, here's a dish that you simply bring it to a boil and you let it just simmer and cook until tender. This is going to be great with our soup. So we'll let that come up to a boil. And I think I'm going to add some additional flavors to it because this is going to be braised red cabbage with a cooking in a raw twist to it. Alright? So let me see here. How about I toss in some parsley? Never go wrong with that. And then I'm thinking I want to do some caraway seed, but not a lot, just a little bit. Okay? Just a little. Really makes you think about winter time. Okay. We stir that in. Oh, you can smell it. You can smell those beets. Oh, this is fantastic. Everything's getting nice and colorful. We're going to do a little bit more parsley. I just like the color that the parsley adds to the dish. All right, you get one more look at this before the lid goes on. And then cooking in time takes over. Next time we remove this lid, we'll have our braised cabbage. You know, always open the lid away from you so that you won't get a steam bath. Oh, look at that. Look what it did to the apples. Nice red color. So the beets, in addition to with the cabbage, just added a nice deep color to it. Now I didn't sweeten this because I myself, you know, would probably like it just as is. The wine taste isn't strong as it could be, or as you would think that it would be. So let's have a taste. Let's see where we're at. So we can adjust the sweetness. Just a taste of the juice. You see, for me, that's perfect. Because I'm not much on the sugar thing, but that's perfect. But this isn't just for me. This is for myself and others. So I did some orange segments. I'm gonna throw in some more orange because I like that little citrus component. I mean, it really speaks of fall with the oranges. So I'm gonna pinch in some sugar, you know, and let that cook in. See, I'm counting my pinches. How many pinches were that, Jessica?
5.
All right. I don't want it to be over sweet, but I want you to know that there's some sweetness there. All right? We're going to stir that through and let that dissolve. Orange is going to be just there in the background to add a little bit more flavor to it. Now, Jessica mentioned earlier that I probably should do some cinnamon, you know, to really make it taste like fall or winter. So how about just a little bit of cinnamon? Bingo. Because with cinnamon, a little bit goes a long way. Stir that through. Well, you can smell it. A little bit's going to go a long way here. Yeah. I really like what it did to the apples. Isn't that beautiful? You know, the yellow color remains, but then this flesh itself is nice and red. That's just fantastic. All right, how about another taste for our sweetness, and then to actually taste the dish. I'll get a little bowl, or maybe a little plate so we can look at it. Let's see where we're at on sweetness here. See, that's perfect for me. And you know what? I'm gonna get a second opinion. Now you won't see her taste it, but you'll hear her words. There you go. All right, we keep our fingers crossed. So what do you think, Jessica?
Mmm, that's really good.
Perfect. And you can taste the cinnamon.
I can taste the cinnamon.
But it's not strong. You know, very light, very subtle. You know, adds a little bit more background and depth to the dish. All right, here we go. We'll plate some of this. Have a little bit of everything. I mean, look at those colors. We have the onion, we have the beets, we have the cabbage in here. Oh, this is fantastic. If this doesn't remind you of fall and winter, then I don't know what would. Now for me, just for a little added touch, okay, so I have all that red, nice little parsley, some green, just a little added touch to the dish. And there you have it. Apple, red beets, and red cabbage braised with some red onion. And Jessica's extra added spice, cinnamon. All come together in Parallel 44 Frozen Tundra Rosé. Here's the taste. Not too sweet, not too tart. Nice crunch on the vegetables. Over time, it's just going to get better. And I really like that hint of cinnamon you want us to add to the dish, Jessica. We'll see you next time on Cooking the Raw, where we start cooking more comfort food in the cold winters of Wisconsin. See you next time. Bye.